Why did Allah destroy the nation of Thamud? Let me take you somewhere strange. A place where mountains are not just mountains, they are homes. Where people don't build houses, they carve them into solid rock. Where a man can stand, cross his arms, look at a mountain and say, I think I'll make that my living room. The people of Thamud were not ordinary. They were powerful, skilled, advanced. They carved entire cities into stone in a region known today as Madain Salih. Massive structures, perfect symmetry, architecture so impressive that even today, tourists stand there taking pictures like, wow, these guys were basically ancient engineers with no YouTube tutorials. And honestly, they were impressive. But that was the problem, because somewhere along the way, their skill turned into arrogance. They began to believe something dangerous. Death cannot touch us here. Look at these walls. These rocks are eternal. And somewhere in the background, an angel is probably like, yeah, about that. Into this proud nation came a man, not a stranger, not an outsider, one of their own, Salih. He grew up among them. They trusted him, respected him. Probably the kind of guy neighbors would say, ah, Salih, good man, honest, never cheats in trade, 10-10 human being. Until one morning he climbed onto a rock and called out, "Oh my people." Everyone paused. Something felt different. This wasn't a business announcement. This wasn't gossip. This was serious. Have I not lived among you? Have I not been trustworthy? They nodded. Yes, you are Salih. We had hope in you. And then he said it. Worship Allah alone. You have no God but Him. Silence. And then laughter. Not polite laughter. Not nervous laughter. The kind of laughter that says, this guy has lost it. One God? Abandoned the gods of our fathers? Ha ha ha. Salih has gone mad. Did someone drop a rock on his head this morning, which is ironic because rocks are kind of their whole personality. Now here's the thing about arrogance. It doesn't just reject the truth, it mocks it. So they decided, let's embarrass him. They pointed to a massive rock, cold, solid, unbreakable. Fine, Salih, if your Lord is real, let that rock give birth. Yes, a camel, a huge one, red, pregnant. At this point even the rock was like, excuse me, I didn't sign up for this. It was impossible, that was the point, a trap. But Salih didn't flinch. He simply asked, if Allah gives you what you ask, will you believe? They said yes, confident, smirking. They had no idea what they had just done. Then the earth trembled. The rock cracked, not chipped, not scratched, cracked, and from it emerged a living creature, a massive she-camel, exactly as they demanded, alive, breathing, walking. The entire valley froze. This is not possible. Did you see that? Bro, the rock just gave birth. Even the skeptics were quiet. For once, no jokes, no sarcasm, just shock. Salih raised his voice, oh my people, this is the she-camel of Allah. But here's the twist. The miracle wasn't just a sign, it was a test. The camel had rights. Rights. They had rights. One day she would drink from the water. She would produce enough milk for the entire community. Imagine one camel feeding a whole city. That's not a farm animal. That's a walking supermarket. It was mercy. Clear. Undeniable. But arrogance has a strange allergy to submission. The leaders began whispering, if this continues, Salih will gain power, will lose control, and honestly I don't like being told what to do. So they gathered. 9 men, not just random troublemakers. These were the elite troublemakers. Their leader, Kudar, the kind of guy who hears don't do it and immediately says say less. One night they struck. The camel collapsed. Her cry echoed across the valley. Her calf cried out 3 times, then fled into the mountains. Those cries were not just sounds, they were a countdown. Salih warned them, you have 3 days. 3 days between laughter and reality. Day 1, their faces turned yellow. At this point you'd think someone would say, guys, this is getting weird. Day 2, red. Day 3, black. And still, they mocked. They even plotted to kill Salih, because apparently if you ignore a warning hard enough, it disappears. Then came the morning. Silence, heavy, unnatural. And then the blast. A sound so powerful it stopped hearts instantly. The Quran calls it as sayha, one scream. That was it. No battle, no resistance, no second chances. The nation that carved mountains collapsed where they stood. Gone. Just like that. Salih and the believers were saved. As he left, he turned back and said, "O my people, I delivered the message, but you did not love those who advised you." That line hits hard. Because their real problem wasn't ignorance, it was ego. Today people visit Madain Salih. They walk through those carved mountains, take pictures, post captions like ancient vibes. But they don't hear the silence. They don't feel the warning. Even Prophet Muhammad cautioned about passing such places without reflection, because these aren't just ruins, they are reminders. Thamud didn't think they were evil. They thought they were right. They didn't reject truth because they didn't understand it. They rejected it because they didn't like being corrected. So ask yourself, when someone advises you, what's your reaction? Do you say, thank you? Or do you say, who are you to tell me? Because that is where their story becomes ours. Don't be a people who build strong walls but weak hearts. Because rocks don't save you, status doesn't save you, only sincerity does. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Assalamu alaikum.